Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. You know, baseball can be a strange game just full of surprises. A rarity for the Red Sox. Without warning, their starting pitchers perform a sudden turnaround, catching their astonished opponents off guard. An unexpected start for the Astros. Improbable heroes emerge unannounced and shock their rivals to cause unpredictable results. Still jolting after all these years, an uncommon athlete opens the season in stunning fashion and moves up with unanticipated speed. Odd, peculiar, offbeat, and outlandish. From the unusual to the unlikely, stay tuned, because we've got extraordinary occurrences to startle y'all right here on This Week in Baseball. Celebrating our 10th anniversary. American League action. In Anaheim, the Angels take aim at the Twins. It's hard to get a handle on the Western Division, but California showed promising signs by pounding Minnesota after dropping Game 1. Frank Viola tossed a 5-hitter and went all the way for the win, but not before George Hendrick collected career RBI number 1,000. And he got it the easy way, a bases-loaded walk. Historic hitting was on tap next day. Stepping up on the career charts was Reggie Jackson, who hammered home run number 4 this year, the 534th of his career, to tie Jimmy Fox for 7th on the all-time list. Jackson's 3 RBIs in the game moved him past Goose Goslin into 17th place with 1,611. The Angels put on a powerful performance again in Game 3, with Dick Schofield taking center stage. The 23-year-old shortstop blasted a 3-run homer that stood up as the game-winning hit. Pitching the goods on the mound was right-hander Jim Slayton, who lasted 7 1/3 innings and struck out 4. Good enough to pick up the win for a 2-0 mark this season. Coming out to relieve Slayton was California bullpen stopper Donnie Moore. His 31 saves in 1985 tied for 3rd in the league, and against the Twins, Moore collected his 2nd save this season, allowing no hits, striking out 2 in 1 2/3 innings of work. In the finale, Angel fans were up in arms over Wally Joyner. The 23-year-old rookie went 3 for 5 with a game-tying RBI in the bottom of the 9th. With a .320 average, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs, Joyner has justified California's decision to release veteran first baseman Rod Carew.
Joyner is a throwback to the old days, a kid that grew up playing first base. He has got some kind of a natural stroke that he reminds me somewhat of Mickey Vernon many years ago when Mickey came to the American League. Of course, Mickey won a couple of batting championships. I don't expect this kid to do that right away, but he's an outstanding player with unlimited potential.
California fans are more than familiar with veteran Brian Downing's potential, and he fulfilled it dramatically against the Twins with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game. His 4th home run already this year, as the Angels took 3 out of 4 to challenge for first place in the West. Next stop, Seattle, where the Mariners were torpedoed by Oakland. When the A's headed north to face Seattle, they gave the slumping Mariners good reason to hang their heads. Seattle fans had an especially hard time swallowing one particular play in the series opener.
It's down low and outside, ball 4. Murphy draws a bases-loaded walk. Here comes Canseco down the line. He will score, and the A's lead. Here comes a runner from third trying to score. Griffin, he will score. Alfredo Griffin sneaking in after the bases-loaded walk.
Food for thought. And Mariner fans were left with nothing to chew on because Jay Howell was eating up Seattle batters. Howell pitched 1 1/3 innings of perfect relief and struck out 2, earning his 3rd save as the A's won it 4-1. Game 2 was equally distressing for Seattle, and the reason? Jose Rijo. Just 20 years old, Rijo struck out a team record 16 batters in 8 innings for his first win this year. In all, both teams combined for 30 strikeouts, a modern Major League record for a 9-inning game. But Jose was king of the K this day. Oakland's other king is Dave Kingman, and he ruled with authority at the plate, cracking his first 2 homers of the season and driving in 5 runs, including the game winner. In Game 3, Oakland's appetite for victory was satisfied by Jose Canseco, who went 3 for 5 with his first game-winning hit this year. In the A's first 13 games, the 21-year-old rookie hit 4 homers and collected 14 RBIs. Big numbers to match a big dream.
I had some experience last year for a month. I think I did extremely well. Hopefully, if I play enough games with no injuries and have a good season, hopefully I will be a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Meanwhile, Mariner bats were candidates for the fireplace because former Milwaukee Brewer Moose Haas burned them up to win the finale and go 3-0 as Oakland swept the series on the road for the first time since 1984 to stay right on California's heels. Now let's move on to Boston, where the Red Sox pulled the wool over Chicago.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox.
Home, sweet home for manager John McNamara, who got some mighty sweet pitching from his red-hot staff. In Game 1, Bruce Hurst was hot as could be, firing a 3-hitter and matching his career high with 11 strikeouts in a complete game performance. But Hurst needed a little help from his friend.
Base hit up the middle. Here comes Craig. Armas can throw. The throw to the plate. And did I get him? Yeah!
With plays like that, Hurst and the Red Sox held on for a 2-1 victory. Game 2 was just as tight. Beleaguered Chicago skipper Tony La Russa saw the chance for a win slip away when shortstop Ozzie Guillen committed a throwing error in the bottom of the 8th that allowed the winning run to score. Boston fans were counting on clutch pitching from Oil Can Boyd, and the can do, going all the way for his first win this year. Boyd's outing gave the Red Sox staff 4 straight complete games for the first time in 5 years. Chicago batters were talking to themselves yet again in Game 3. This time, Mike Brown was the reason. Brown went 7 innings and got his first big league win since 1984. Second baseman Marty Barrett supplied all the offense Boston needed, going 3 for 3 and driving home the game-winning run as the Red Sox took it 6-2 to sweep the series for their 4th consecutive win overall, while the White Sox tumbled to their 10th loss in their first 12 games. And now it's time for this week's quiz, brought to you by Nissan, builders of high-quality cars and trucks for over 50 years. 47-year-old Phil Niekro came back to haunt his former New York Yankees by beating them for career win number 301. His brother Joe pitches for the Yankees, has 205 career wins. The Niekros ranked second behind Jim and Gaylord Perry in total victories by brothers. Jim Perry collected 215 wins, pitching for 4 different teams in a career that covered 19 seasons, while younger brother Gaylord had 314 wins over 22 seasons. But for this week's quiz, can you name the brothers who combined for the most hits? Stay tuned for Pure Poison. National League scene. In San Francisco, the Giants just kept on surprising. Los Angeles skipper Tommy Lasorda couldn't believe his eyes because the Giants made all the right moves while the Dodgers were making all the wrong ones, as San Francisco scored 7 runs in the first inning before making any outs. That made things nice and easy for starter Mike Krukow, who got the win to go 3-0, giving the Dodgers a record of 4-11, worst start in Los Angeles history. In the previous game, it was Chili Davis who did the Dodgers in, cracking 2 homers, including the game winner, to put San Francisco in first place in the West. Roger Mason was a master on the mound, going all the way on a 3-hitter to get the win. In the Giants' previous series, it was San Diego falling in the wake of San Francisco's surge. Vida Blue beat the Padres for career win number 200, the 85th pitcher in big league history to reach that plateau. With Oakland in 1971, Blue went 24-8 to win both the American League Cy Young and MVP awards. Jeff Leonard just pounded the Padres, getting 2 game-winning hits and driving in 7 runs as he led the league in RBIs with 15. Scott Garrett set down San Diego with a complete game 3-hitter. Seems he's making a smooth transition from reliever to starter.
Scott Garrett's last year really developed a lot of confidence to go with good ability, and now he's taking it out of the pen and putting it on the mound to start games. I think that gives us a lot more credibility than we had.
San Francisco was gaining credibility quickly with 6 consecutive wins. Next stop, Cincinnati, where the upstart Astros painted the Reds blue. A shining start has given high hopes to Houston, with rookie manager Hal Lanier instilling a new spirit.
I am completely different from what they're used to. I'm very aggressive. I'm very enthusiastic. You know, I'm going to tell them when I don't like something, and I'm going to tell them when I see something that I do like.
I like his style. He's aggressive. I think the last few years we've been too laid back and too passive a little bit, and I think the aggressive style is really going to help this club.
Against the Reds, Phil Garner helped a ton. 5 for 12 in the series with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. In a 6-game span, Garner had 12 hits and 12 RBIs. His overall batting average was above .450. Kevin Bass helped out as well, going 5 for 11 in the sweep of Cincinnati with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. Still more help from Alan Ashby. 2 of his 3 hits against the Reds were homers. Each came with a man on, and both were game winners. Bill Doran was helpful on the bases with 2 steals in 1 game, and his overall total of 7 was tops in the league. Houston kept Cincinnati's bats under wraps with help from reliever Charlie Kerfeld. The 22-year-old rookie made 2 appearances and picked up his 2nd save this season. Mike Scott helped himself to his first win this year with a career-high 9 strikeouts and 8 1/3 innings. When Scott needed relief help, he got it from Dave Smith, who collected 2 saves and 2 appearances, and the Astros blasted off to a 10-4 start, their best in 6 years. On to New York, where Pittsburgh's parade was rained on by the Mets. The Pirates had first place on their minds after turning things around with 5 straight wins following 2 losses to start the season, but the Mets had ideas of their own. Leadoff man R.J. Reynolds got the Bucks going with his league-leading 6th double to open the game and keep his batting average above .350. Johnny Ray was batting even better with the league-leading average near .470, and he promptly drove Reynolds home for RBI number 12, tied for 2nd in the league. But the Mets were not about to be dusted off easily. With Pittsburgh up 2-0, Gary Carter batted with a man on in 2nd. Going, and it's gone. Tie ball game. But only for a little while, because Mike Brown batted in the 6th, hammered a 2-run shot of his own to put the Bucks back on top. Long ball fever was infectious, and Ray Knight caught a case in the 8th. Knight hit just 6 homers all last year, but this game-tying 2-run blast was his 3rd home run of the new season, and he hit number 4 next night. In the top of the ninth, Pirate manager Jim Leland decided to gamble with Joe Orsulak, who came to bat with a runner on third and 2 men out.
With Mazzilli at third, the squeeze is on. Carter goes out to get the ball. Nobody at home and no play at first.
Despite Carter's mistake, the Mets had no intention of going down without a fight. In the bottom of the ninth, with a man on second, Tim Tuffle batted with 1 out. Tuffle's second double of the night tied the score once again. What's more, that clutch hit gave a chance for redemption to Gary Carter, and redeem himself he did, as the Mets took it 6-5 and then won again next night to tie for first place in the East. Now let's check out the answer to this week's Nissan quiz. Paul and Lloyd Wainer combined for the most hits by brothers, 5,611. Paul was called Big Poison, had 3,152 hits in a 20-year career. Little Poison, that was the nickname for younger brother Lloyd, who had 2,459 in 18 years. The Wainers were teammates with Pittsburgh, and both are in the Hall of Fame. Hey, fans, let's step lively, because when big leaguers take the field, they do some high stepping themselves. But sometimes they dance a baseball two-step with 2 left feet. Hey, man, watch your step. Maybe you should have tried to step on it. Oh, well, if you plan on stepping out, then you better step to it. After all, it's not always easy to put your best foot forward. See what I mean? Now, here's a man who should have taken a step in the right direction. Time now for Major League feats of daring do. Step right up for a good look at some fielding phenoms that are #1.
Hi, my name's Steve Omberdozzi. I play second base for the Minnesota Twins. I had 2 goals once I got called up to the major leagues. One was to collect big league meal money on our first road trip, and I got to do that, and my second one was to be on This Week in Baseball.
Well, you made it, Steve. Of course, you had some help from shortstop Greg Gagne. Get there, Greg. There you go. Next up, New York Mets pitcher Ron Darling. The Mets again, Rafael Santana with help from George Foster. Boston's Dwight Evans helping himself. Kansas City's Darryl Motley. Shane Raleigh behind the back for an easy Philadelphia out. Fellow Philly mound mate Kevin Gross. The Dean of the Dodgers, Bill Russell. Back to the Phillies for Milt Thompson. San Diego, Steve Garvey. New York Yankee, Don Mattingly. Once again, Minnesota's Greg Gagne. Chicago Cub, Ryne Sandberg. Cincinnati's Davey Concepcion. Milwaukee's Randy Reddy, nice and steady. Kansas City's Willie Wilson. And finally, Atlanta's Claudell Washington. Well, all right. Now it's This Week in Baseball's 10th anniversary flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Let's flash back to 1982. Gaylord Perry was 41 years old and pitching for Seattle, his 7th big league team, when he made history.
On May the 6th, 1982, Gaylord Perry 1 out away from 300. The 2-1 pitch to Randolph. Swung on, ground ball to Cruz. This should do it. He's got it. It's over. Gaylord has 300.
As it got closer and closer, won my 299th in New York against the Yankees. We're going back 5 days later and pitching against the Yankees in Seattle. It was getting a lot of coverage and a lot of people were there, but it was a great occasion. Part of my family was there. We just had a great evening.
Perry became the 15th pitcher in Major League history to win 300 games, and the first since Early Wynn back in 1963, but he had to fight just to get the opportunity.
Gaylord, to me, is such a competitor, and he had worked so hard, and he had a tough time. He couldn't really get a contract with anybody, and he wanted to win so badly, and Seattle gave him a chance. And then to win his 300th against the Yankees and go 9 innings with no relief help whatsoever, and to do it that way, he did it in style, and I couldn't have been more happy for anybody.
You made us happy too, Gaylord. And that's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Be sure to be here tomorrow at 1:30 when the Tribe and Yankees go at it once again on Ohio's television sports giant. The Herb Score Show with Pat Corrales is next on WUAB.